I want to start with something personal. I'm an engineering student, and one thing engineering teaches you very early is this: things almost never feel suddenly, they feel slowly, quietly, because small problems are ignored for too long. And I've been thinking about how similar life is. Most people don't ruin their lives with one big decision. They don't wake up one day and destroy everything. They slowly choose comfort every day in ways that feel harmless. This video isn't motivation. It's not advice you've never heard before. It's just an honest conversation. If you've been trying, if you've been planning, if you feel capable of more but somehow stuck where you are, stay with me. Take your time with this. When people hear the word comfort, they think of rest. They think of sleep, food, relaxation. But that's not the comfort I'm talking about. Rest is necessary. Comfort, when overused, is avoidance. Comfort is using what feels familiar instead of what helps you grow. It's scrolling instead of sleeping, consuming instead of creating, planning instead of starting, staying busy so you don't have to feel uncomfortable. Comfort doesn't feel wrong, that's why it stays. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, I'm tired today, I deserve a break, and maybe you do. But when tomorrow keeps moving and the break never ends, comfort quietly becomes your lifestyle. Something nobody talks about is how comfort hides behind responsibility. You can look like you're doing everything right and still be choosing comfort. You wake up, you go to class or work, you do what's expected. And because you're not failing, you assume you're progressing. But survival is not growth. A lot of people confuse being functional with being fulfilled. They say, at least I'm not doing badly. But that's a very low standard for someone who knows they're capable of more. Comfort often looks like responsibility with no ambition attached to it. You meet deadlines, you avoid risks, you stay inside safe expectations, and slowly your world becomes very small. Not because life limited you, but because you never pushed against its edges. You rarely feel like a beginner, and being a beginner is uncomfortable. It reminds you that you don't know everything, that you're not exceptional yet, that effort doesn't guarantee success. Comfort lets you keep your self-image intact. You can tell yourself, I could do more if I wanted. But potential that is never tested is just a story you tell yourself. At some point, the story becomes a lie, not because you're incapable, but because you keep avoiding proof. Comfort shows up in very normal ways. It shows up when you do the easy version of hard things. You stop when it gets mentally uncomfortable. You avoid the task that requires full focus. You wait to feel confident before starting. From the outside, you look fine. You look responsible, you look busy, you look like you're trying. But inside, you know. You know there's a deeper level you're not touching. Comfort doesn't make you fail. It makes you almost succeed. And living in almost is exhausting. Comfort also shows up in how you think about time. You start believing there's always more of it. You say things like, next year will be easier, I'll be more serious later. This isn't the right phase yet, but life doesn't have clear phases the way we imagine. There's no official moment when everything suddenly aligns and becomes easy. What actually happens is that responsibilities increase, energy decreases, and the cost of change gets higher. Comfort convinces you that waiting is harmless. But waiting is a decision. And every year you wait, the version of you who could have started earlier disappears. The real cost of comfort isn't pain, it's regret. It's waking up one day and realizing I had time, I had energy, I had opportunity, but I kept choosing what felt easier. Comfort slowly turns into disappointment, especially when you see others move forward, not because they're better, but because they stayed uncomfortable longer. That's the part people don't like to talk about. It's not jealousy, it's grief. Grief for the version of yourself you didn't become. The hardest part of comfort is that it slowly changes how you see yourself. You stop trusting your own discipline. You stop believing that you follow through. You start identifying as someone who plans instead of someone who acts. And self-image matters more than motivation. Once you see yourself as the type of person who doesn't finish, every future attempt becomes heavier. Comfort doesn't just delay your progress, it reshapes your identity. Let me say something gently. You don't need to become extreme. You don't need to be obsessed. You don't need to turn your life into suffering. But you do need to stop negotiating with yourself. Every time things feel hard, growth doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency, especially when no one is watching. The life you want is built in every ordinary moment. The moment you choose focus instead of distraction, the moment you stay 5 minutes longer, the moment you don't quit just because it feels uncomfortable. Those moments don't look impressive, but they accumulate. You don't need more motivation. Motivation comes and goes. What you need is honesty. No one is coming to push you every day. No one is coming to force growth on you. No one is coming to save your potential. And that's not cruel. It's empowering. If this video makes you uncomfortable, that's okay. That feeling isn't guilt, it's awareness. And awareness is where change begins. You don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to become someone else overnight. Just stop lying to yourself. Choose slightly harder, just once, then again tomorrow. Thank you for staying with me.